But I want to ask all you one quick question. Anybody want to raise a hand and volunteer why they're here today? Anybody here for a reason? There's somebody. Why are you here?
Because I'm tired of the government spending all our money. I lost my job. I live in Illinois, which they keep taxing all the companies out of the state. And I'm tired of it. Yeah. And I also don't like the trend towards socialism. I mean, this is America. I'm standing next to a World War II vet.
Yes, cheer for the veterans. Greatest generation. Greatest generation. Well, really, we are here. I think that's what everybody would answer to some extent, and maybe there's more, maybe there's less. But we're here, I think, to make sure that America remains the America that we've known. The greatest nation in the history of civilization. Our country has the highest standard of living in the world, and that's a great thing. There's nothing bad about having things. It's not terrible. We are one of the freest nations of the world. But there are important things about the United States of America that people forget sometimes. People of America are the first to show up in a disaster anywhere in this entire planet. We're generous. We provide for those who don't have things all over the world. That our military is the first at a crisis. Our people are the first with their checkbook to help other people out. And yet you'd swear for listening to the world that we're some stingy, greedy, horrible group of people. America is the only real defender of the free world anymore. We're the only world superpower. And not only that, isn't it rather telling that we're the place that everyone wants to live in our nation? And we got here for a good reason. We got here because we believe in freedom and liberty. We actually even used to believe in public service. But now we believe in people we send to Washington who abuse the taxpayer. People like our recent Governor Blagojevich, I believe was the name. And those in Washington who will go nameless because they're people like the nameless Dick Durbin and people like that who have screwed up our nation and are taking it away from us. The men who created this nation clearly believed in limited government and low taxes. When the United States of America was formed, it was because of tyranny, fear of the tyranny of huge government, of the kind of thing that we're just beginning to see now. This is the problem. The powerful central government that will enslave us all. That's what the people who began this nation were against. That's why they began this country, and we need to respect that and not cast it aside. We have been blessed to have the greatest economic system in the world, one that rewards the hard work of the people of this nation. And now we apparently have decided to destroy it, to destroy the system that made America great, and it's wrong. Prior to the current administration, we already had entitlement programs with problems. Medicare, Social Security, these are not viable long-term programs, and now they think we can run up trillions more spending. And where are they going to get the money? It's going to have to come from somebody, my friends, and it's going to have to come from you. These politicians want trillions of dollars to fix a problem they don't understand, and if they don't understand it, how are they supposed to know how to fix it?
That's right!
As my opponent said, well, I don't know if this will work, but we have to do something. They are doing something. They're taking your money. They will take your money and they will spend it. They have no assurance that it will do any good. They'll have no assurance that you'll get a job back. You have no assurance that they won't continue to destroy this state, continue to destroy this nation, and then we won't all be out of work someday. Their plans are simple. Their plans are simple. More taxes, more spending. The income tax will get higher, but it won't get any simpler. Anybody do their taxes? How many billions of hours do we spend each year doing our taxes? As I started shuttling, here's my state for this, here's my that, all these taxes. It's just ridiculous. The American people long for simpler lives, not a tax system that's as big as the Bible. President Obama, does he care? I don't know. I don't think so. No, you don't think so either, huh? Well, I don't think so either. You know, it wasn't his primary goal when he got into office to simplify the tax system. It was just to garner more taxes. And after they're taking our taxes, then they're going to put a cap and trade system in so that our energy costs so much we can't afford that. And it'll make it more expensive for each and every one of us to turn on our lights and to pay for our, to heat our homes. And then when we can no longer pay for our energy, they'll tax the few of us left for that so they can cover the people who couldn't pay for their energy because they made it so expensive, and then they'll think they're great guys. And it's the kind of garbage that's been going on in this country now for decades. The administration is also planning to reduce the deduction for charitable giving. People like yourselves like to give to other people.
That's right.
It brings you happiness. It brings you joy. When people take your money, when they confiscate your hard-earned money, that doesn't bring you joy. What brings you joy is the opportunity to do something personally for those who have less than you do. That's what America is all about. This policy is horrendous. And the estate tax is here to stay as well. We've got to have an estate tax. So whatever you've earned, whatever you saved, you can't possibly keep it. You can't give it to your children. You can't keep the family farm. You can't keep the family business. They're still going to destroy that for you because they need your money to spend and spend and spend. Another shameful tax policy. And then finally, we will get government-run health care. We will get rationing. You will get mediocrity, my friends. Believe me, you will. You will get a typical government program, just like so many we've seen over the decades, that fail us and mire us in misery. You know, I mean, FedEx, UPS, and Federal Express and all these things didn't come up because the great United States government was doing such a great job delivering the mail. I'm sorry. They did a lousy job at pretty much everything they've done. And it's time for changes, and we've got to stop this. Healthcare created by politicians and bureaucrats will benefit politicians and bureaucrats, but it won't benefit you. The current administration will also not provide for the military we need. They are looking at large military cuts, like that's somehow going to make this country solvent, when in reality we spend a fraction of our government taxes on the military, and it's the most important thing that the government does for us. If they have no other responsibility, it's to keep us safe. And in the end, what will America look like when they're done if we don't stop them? It'll look like Europe. Well, after Europe, we'll go past to Cuba maybe, sadly. But look at Europe. Europe is a continent who has less. They're not a continent that has more. This is a continent where the average European lives in a home that we consider the poverty level.
That's right.
So we can become like them. We can all live in less ideal homes. We can have less money. We can have less food, if that's what we really want. I just don't think we do. We can live in a country where the unemployment rate is 8% all the time. That's what it is in Europe. That's what they've been living with. We think it's a crisis. Europe thinks it's normal. Is that what we want? No! I don't think so either. Europe can't pay for a socialized welfare system. It imports workers from all over the place to keep their systems going. And what does that do? It destroys their culture. We have a right to have a culture as a nation, too.
That's right.
This nation was a melting pot. It was a melting pot around a culture. It was around an idea. It was around freedom and liberty. We cannot afford to give that. We cannot give up our culture. Europe is doing that, and we cannot.
That's right.
And I don't know if anybody noticed, but in the last 100 years or so, when Europe gets in trouble,
They call us.
they do call us, don't they? Who defends Europe? The United States of America. And if we become Europe, who's going to help us? We will be out of luck, folks. It is time to take care of ourselves so that we can take care of others. But if we cave in now, we're going to be out of luck because there's nobody waiting to help the United States of America.
That's right.
My fellow Americans, we're at a critical juncture in the history of this nation. More taxes, less charitable giving, socialized medicine, unaffordable energy, and a weakened military are wrong for our nation. I feel very blessed to have lived in America. I believe, I hope it's not true, but I may have lived at the greatest time in the greatest country in the history of civilization, maybe even for many years to come.
That's right.
I pray that our children will have the opportunities that many of us have had, and I don't know if they will.
No.
I'm fearful that it will not happen. Please join together with all those who love America to save our great nation. I know that's why you're here, and I hope you'll do it. And it's not just your responsibility to stand up today, but every day. Every day we need to stand up for our nation and our children. Between now and the elections of 2010, we have choice. We must commit to ensuring that the United States of America will continue to be, as Michael Medved would say, the greatest nation on God's green earth. Thank you, and God bless you. Have a wonderful day.